Welcome children. Today I'll discuss interchange of interrogative and assertive sentences. Interrogative and assertive sentences. An interrogative sentence is a sentence that asks a question and always ends with a question mark. An interrogative sentence is a sentence that asks a question and always ends with a question mark. Example: is she a good singer? Is she a good singer? Now, what's the meaning of an assertive sentence? An assertive sentence is a sentence that declares a statement, feeling, opinion, or an event. It can be both an affirmative or positive statement or a negative one and ends with a full stop. An assertive sentence is a sentence that declares a statement, feeling, opinion, or an event. It can be both an affirmative or positive statement or a negative one and ends with a full stop. Positive assertive sentence example is, you must do your homework. It is a positive sentence. You must do your homework. Now, negative assertive sentence, you should not watch cartoon all the day long. Negative assertive sentence, you should not watch cartoon all the day long. Not watch. So it is a negative assertive sentence. In order to change an assertive sentence into the interrogative without changing its meaning, we have to add a negative if the assertive sentence is in the affirmative and add a question mark. If the sentence is in affirmative, what you have to do? You have to add a negative. Not. Must be added, and at the end you have to put a question mark. Example: this is the car that we are going to buy. This is the car that we are going to buy. This is affirmative assertive sentence. Now how will we change it? Isn't this the car that we are going to buy? Isn't this the car that we are going to buy? Then, in order to change an assertive sentence into the interrogative without changing its meaning, we have to remove the negative if the assertive sentence is in the negative and add a question mark. Once again, in order to change an assertive sentence into the interrogative without changing its meaning, we have to remove the negative in the sentence if the assertive sentence is in the negative and add a question mark. Example: they are not rich enough to afford this car. They are not rich enough to afford this car. Negative assertive sentence it is. How will we change into interrogative? Are they rich enough to afford this car? Are they rich enough to afford this car? I will now discuss some of the rules which we have to follow when we change an assertive sentence into an interrogative sentence. First one is, begin the sentence with the helping words used in the assertive sentence, just like is, was, are, can, will, were, or am. Once again, begin the sentence with the helping words used in the assertive sentence like is, was, are, can, will, were, or am. Example: you say, she is a good dancer. She is a good dancer. So what's the helping word here? Is. You have to start with is. Is she a good dancer? And a question mark. Secondly, if an assertive sentence is a positive one, while changing it into interrogative, use not in it and replace the helping word in the beginning. That means bring the helping word to the beginning. If an assertive sentence is a positive one, positive sentence, while changing it to interrogative, use not in it and replace the helping word in the beginning. That means bring the helping word to the beginning. Example: James is a good football player. James is a good football player. How will you change it to interrogative? Helping word here is. So, is you will bring to first. Is James not a good football player? You have already seen not must be used. Is James not a good football player? Is James not a good football player? If the assertive sentence is a negative one, we have seen before positive one. Now, if the assertive sentence is a negative one, the word not is removed from the sentence while changing it into interrogative sentence. If the assertive sentence is a negative one, the word not is removed from the sentence while changing it into interrogative. Example, you cannot win this football match. You cannot win this football match. Cannot is there. So how will you use? If negative sentence is given, you make it into positive. And positive is given, make it into negative. Can you win this football match? Can you win this football match? Question mark also must be there. Here the helping word cannot is replaced by can. Removing not. When we are removing not, can it will become. Can you win this football match? Here the helping word cannot is replaced by can. Now next point is the word never in the assertive sentence is replaced by ever while changing it into interrogative. The word never in the assertive sentence is replaced by ever while changing it into interrogative. I shall never forget those happy days. I shall never forget. So, never is used in the assertive sentence. So, you have to use ever in the interrogative. And the helping word will come in the beginning. I shall never forget those happy days. So, the helping word here is shall. So, you have to bring it first. Shall I ever? Never will become ever. Shall I ever forget those happy days? Shall I ever forget those happy days? Then the question mark also must be put. Shall I ever forget those happy days? Next one. The word no in assertive sentence is replaced by any while changing it into interrogative. The word no in assertive sentence is replaced by any while changing it into interrogative sentence. Example, no one knows the secret of his success. No one knows the secret of his success. Then how will we change it? Does anyone know the secret of his success? Does anyone know the secret of his success? While changing the positive interrogative sentence to assertive sentences, not will be included in the sentence, beginning it with the subject and remove the question mark. While changing the positive interrogative sentences to assertive one, not will be included in the sentence, beginning it with the subject and remove the question mark. Example, you say, were they interested to attend the party? Question mark also say, were they interested to attend the party? How will we write? They were not interested to attend the party. They were not interested to attend the party. Next is, for changing a negative interrogative sentence to an assertive sentence, remove the word not. A negative interrogative sentence to assertive sentence, remove the word not. Example, is he not a bright student? Is he not a bright student? Interrogative sentence it is. You can change it to assertive. He is a bright student. He is a bright student. When the question is negative, an affirmative answer is expected. And when the question is positive or affirmative, then a negative answer is expected. So please say that if the question is positive, negative answer, and negative, positive answer. I will discuss some more examples. First one, who can touch pitch without being defiled? Who can touch pitch without being defiled? It's an interrogative sentence. We have to change into assertive. You will start with no one can. No one can touch pitch without being defiled. Second sentence, there's nothing better than a busy life. There's nothing better than a busy life. Start with is there. Is there anything. Nothing will become anything. Is there anything better than a busy life? Next sentence. That was not an example to be followed. Was that an example to be followed? Was that an example to be followed? Next one is, who does not know the owl? Who does not know the owl? Answer is, everyone knows the owl. Everyone knows the owl. Next one. He was a villain to do such a deed. He was a villain to do such a deed. You have to make an interrogative sentence. Was he not a villain to do such a deed? Was he not a villain to do such a deed? All the rules I have told, so you follow them. Okay, children?